So let's see how we can make this classic, delicious blueberry bubble cake. First, let's start with the ingredients. Let's get organized. That makes these recipes go much faster and simpler. We have 150 grams of margarine, 3 eggs, 150 grams of powdered sugar, 1 deciliter or quarter cup of milk, 250 grams of flour, 1 package of baking powder, and blueberries. Now in this video, you'll see that I have a lot of blueberries, but we end up only using about a quarter of it. So if you have a pint of blueberries, or maybe 1 to 2 pints, that's perfectly fine. We're going to start by separating the egg yolks from the egg whites. There's 3 eggs, so just take your time and make sure you have good separation between the whites and the yolks. Start with a mixing bowl, add your margarine, then add half your powdered sugar, your egg yolks, and your milk. I find for these recipes, warm milk works better than cold milk. With all the ingredients combined, just take a wooden spoon and just mix it into consistency. It doesn't have to be very smooth at this point. We will use our mixer later on to get it to the right consistency. So now let's move on to the remaining ingredients. In a separate mixing bowl, empty your egg whites and begin whisking them. We don't have to get it to souffle kind of consistency. We just have to get some air in it. In this case, I didn't really have the right attachments here, so it's taken a lot longer to whisk the eggs to where I wanted to. As you're whisking, add the remaining powdered sugar. That will help fluff it up, and then just continue for about a minute to 2 minutes tops. Again, in this video, I didn't have the right attachments, so it's not as good as it could be for me. After you've finished whisking the eggs, add the remaining flour and baking powder, and then mix it until it's thoroughly mixed. And now the final step is to combine all the ingredients into the larger mixing bowl and then blend or mix the batter until it's smooth and velvety in consistency. You'll see that in about a minute, it will combine quite nicely and it'll be really, really nice to the consistency. It'll, and you can certainly give it a taste to see if you like the consistency and the taste. If you want to, you can add a little bit more sugar or a little bit more baking powder, depending on how much you want it to rise. Now let's prepare our pan. Just take a small pat of butter on a paper towel and wipe the pan with it, and then add a little bit of flour and gently tap the sides to cover the entire pan, including the sides with the flour. This will prevent the cake mix from sticking and it'll make it easier to remove from the pan. And now just pour the batter onto the pan and just gently spread it with a spatula until it's evenly covered. Be careful not to remove the flour from underneath, so just spread it just like you would with a paintbrush. Doesn't have to be very thick, just has to be consistent. And now the best part, take your blueberries and sprinkle them across the top of the cake batter. You don't have to push them into the batter. They will sink naturally as the batter rises during baking. And now all that's left is to put it into the oven at 375 for about 35 minutes. Now take it out of the oven and let it rest. You can check to see if the cake is ready by dipping a knife or toothpick and just make sure it comes out dry. And now all that's left is to give each piece a light dusting of icing sugar if you wish, and serve. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.